Do you think this will drive up the viewership count if I show some cleavage?
Welcome to podcast. All right. Welcome to podcast. I'm your host, Madison, joined by my co-host,
Michael.
And I'm John. And today we have a special guest. There's actually another cousin.
Well, she's not your cousin.
She's not my cousin. She's your cousin, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is my sister.
Say my name?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm Jen. They know me as Jennifer.
Oh, this
Yes.
is another
Kinda
case
crazy.
of mistaken
Name
identity.
problem.
It's gonna be one of those.
Anybody who's known me in my childhood calls me Jennifer, but anybody who's known me in my 20s and above calls me Jen.
Okay.
Or if I'm on trail, Squeaks.
Yeah, I was actually gonna ask if you wanted to.
Yeah, you
drop
got
that one
the
too.
trail names.
Drop that.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
know?
Well, it's awesome. It's glad that we're glad to have you here.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
I've been wondering when I was going to get asked to be on this, considering that I am clearly the favorite cousin that ever existed. I mean, if you can't tell by the skin tone, then I don't know how else you can tell.
Oh, are we getting into that?
Oh, straight out the gate.
So just to clarify, we have the same parents. Okay, so. But yeah, no, Jennifer
There's
does.
a difference in spending a lot of time in the sun versus not.
Yeah, I was about to say Jennifer does spend a lot more time in the sun. Yeah. So Jennifer, why don't you give us a little brief overview of what you do and who you are.
Wow. Okay.
Brief.
Brief. Like, wow, we could really go down the
And
rabbit
while
hole.
you're doing that, Michael, if you'll pass me two of both of those things.
Both of those things.
The caffeine pouch. I didn't take the caffeine pouch.
Okay.
All right.
It's on me.
It's like there's so many things that you pointed in the direction of.
All right. Well, my name is Jen, obviously. You can call me whatever you want to, I suppose. Just not Jenny. That's the problem. Yeah, from Birmingham with, are we allowed to say where we're from?
Yeah, you can
Okay,
say where we're from.
well-
I mean, we don't often drop like where we're located, but
Okay, well, from Birmingham.
You could be
aren't
Birmingham,
currently
England.
located there. From England.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I went to college at Auburn, and ever since then, about 10 years ago, I've been kind of traveling around, being a little aloof. So, yeah, still make it back here from time to time, check on the fam squad, but you can find me normally where the mountains are, which is out west.
Yeah.
So they have mountains in the east too, don't they?
No, those are called hills.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the Appalachians, I guess.
The Appalachian Hills.
Yeah,
the Appalachian Hills.
yeah.
So you've done some pretty. I mean, to be fair, Michael and I are. I mean, we live probably more like normal, boring-ish lives compared to you. You do a lot of hiking, and how many
World Explorer.
World Explorer, really? Have you ever sat down and calculated how many miles you've hiked? I think
Okay.
that'd be a really cool thing to know.
Yeah. Okay, so hiked is very different than how many I've backpacked because I hike regularly.
Well, for our audience, help us define the difference here.
Okay.
I guess one, you're wearing a backpack.
Yes, one,
Yeah.
it's called
That
backpacking,
makes sense.
where you're carrying everything that you need to survive, like your sleeping bag, your sleeping pad, your tent, your food, your multi-day trips, okay?
It's fair to
So-
say backpacking is an overnight thing. Well, hiking can just be a day thing.
Yes, yeah. Day
Yeah,
hike, so,
and typically, I guess hiking would be more of like I'm gonna walk out and then I'm gonna walk back.
yeah, so.
And backpacking is like a true trek.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
gone. You're covering some distances.
Okay.
So,
So do you only track then how far you've backpacked?
yeah.
Okay, and
typically.
that's fair because you might go on a day trek or a day hike and you
Yeah.
come back and
I mean, I've
it's not
gone
worth-
on thousands of day hikes at this point.
Sure.
Which can be anywhere between like 3 miles and 15 miles. I mean, I've done day hikes that are up to 25 miles and still made it back in my same, place that I slept in the night before.
Yeah. It's safe to say that Jennifer, of the three of us, has
Just a
better
leisurely
cardio.
25-mile hike in a day.
That's right.
My biggest day I've ever done on trail, so I've backpacked over 6,000 miles in long distance backpacking. So
Is that total or in one go?
total.
Okay.
Yeah, My longest in one go is the Appalachian Trail, which was 2,200 miles. But my longest day of backpacking was 38 miles and over 7,000 feet of elevation gain in Vermont.
Okay.
That's a big hill.
Well, it was 2 mountains. One was 5,000 foot climb at the end of the day. I actually remember calling Dad, and I was like, hey, like I randomly had cell service, and I was like, hey, Dad, what's going on? He was like, oh, I just had the most stressful day, something. And I was like, yeah, sweet. I'm like climbing up this mountain, and he's like, what are you doing? I was like, oh, I'm like having my biggest day on trail right now. I'm climbing up a 5,000 foot peak, and he's like, sweet. Well, I'm going to go now. I'll talk to you later. And I'm just like, like dying, but it's fine.
That sounds about right.
Difference in the world.
Dad, similar to me, is a bit of a workaholic. And so, no, I definitely know some of those days. I've had a question that I've wanted to save for content here because there's a very popular one that was going around for a while, right?
Oh, I know where this is going.
Oh, yeah?
I already know where it's
Okay.
going.
All right. So this was a popular, this was huge. It was catching headlines and stuff a while ago.
Yeah, it was a viral sensation. We're behind, but
yeah, we're a little bit dated in asking it, but
how do I ask the question without asking the question?
how do you ask that? I don't know if we're on the same page.
We are on the same page.
I'm just straight up ask the question. Jennifer, would you rather be alone in the woods with a man or with a bear?
Oh, I literally heard you guys ask this.
Yeah.
Wait, y'all talked about this before.
we have talked about it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I actually am gonna say a man because I hate grizzly bears. If it was a black bear, absolutely a bear, because I've walked beside black bears. Black bears might as well just be my friend. But grizzly bears literally made me want to leave Montana because I based myself there for about 7 years. But I've had 2 really close encounters with grizzlies, and the way that my adrenaline just jumps is crazy. I've been able to, I can out hike a man for sure.
I feel like you would. Yeah. That was kind of my thoughts, and maybe your perspective is a little different from other women because you're just gonna pick your feet up and go.
Oh yeah, I've actually done that multiple times.
I would say, what, picking your feet up and going, or outrunning a man?
Well, like not outrunning a man, but like if I just kind of get weird vibes from a guy, I'm like, yeah, I think I'm gonna stop at the next campsite, and they're like, yeah, me too. They start setting up camp, and then I just eat my dinner, wait till they're fully set up, and then I'm like, actually, I'm just gonna keep going, and then I just hike 10 more miles, and then never see them again.
There you go. Okay.
So to me, I can outwit and outsmart a man, for sure.
Okay.
So
you can do both of those things.
Wait, I have to tell you guys something that
Okay.
I saved for the podcast that you guys don't know.
Okay.
Speaking of outwit and outsmart, I actually tried out to be on Survivor.
Oh.
I went to a casting call a couple weeks ago.
Oh.
And have you guys ever seen Survivor?
Yeah,
I mean,
Survivor. I've never religiously watched it
Am
like
I
other people's.
mistaken? Isn't Survivor a couples thing?
No, it's
No.
a singular
Yeah.
person
What am I
thing.
thinking of?
Amazing Race, maybe.
Race,
Amazing
yeah.
Race. Okay.
Well, so I don't know why it's been on my bucket list to be on a television show, just for the sake of I want to experience all of what goes on behind the scenes of a television show.
You got a little bit of a behind the scenes of a podcast today.
Yeah, I did. I was like, wow, this place is
Same production level as Survivor.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
But so I did that, and I guess I could go into a little bit more detail about what happened, but basically I saw that there was a casting call nearby where I was, and so I drove 3 hours there. And when I got there was already a line. It was happening the next day, starting at 9 a.m. And I was like, oh, I was just going to sleep in my car. But instead, I just went to my car and got my camping stuff, and I just slept in line. And everybody else was in chairs and didn't have blankets or anything. I set up my sleeping pad and my sleeping bag. I just blew that thing up, put my eye blinders on. I slept right there in line. Woke up the next morning looking refreshed. Everybody looked haggard.
You don't have to worry about grizzlies in a parking lot or wherever.
Yeah, I
this
know. Well, it was at a casino, and it's kind of funny
Interesting.
Okay.
because at the end,
I bet. Can I say something? I feel like that's a great way to be pick me.
what?
Because you just come all that super prepped with everything.
Yeah.
You just got
Oh,
your full backpack.
I was fully ready.
Yeah.
But when the line opened, there was hundreds of people in line when I woke up. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm glad I slept here.
Okay.
They let people in, and you have 1 minute to pitch yourself. And so you walk up in front of this screen and, well, not even a screen, just a camera and a camera guy, and they go, and you just have 1 minute to talk about yourself and why you should be on Survivor, and then they say bye, and then you have to wait for
So they
months.
didn't give me kind of like task, like
Yeah.
at Survivor. It'd be
No.
like complete
know.
this puzzle or something.
So
And
they're
hundreds
looking.
of people though, crazy.
Yeah, that's true. You have to go through a lot. But I would also assume, I don't know, Michael. I don't know if you know this about Michael, but he kind of likes reality TV. Michael,
No, I like the challenge.
you like the challenge?
That's my favorite one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Big Brother style.
Well, I mean, they asked me to be on Naked and Afraid, and I told them that I'd have to have clothes on.
Well, that's the
Like,
opposite
I
of
can't
Naked and Afraid. Wait, so
Yeah.
it wasn't just for Survivor? It was like multiple different.
No, just Survivor is the one I just did. But I've been in contact with like over 5 or 6 different shows in the past, and for one reason or another, like 2 of them wanted me to be with a partner, and I'm like, who else is gonna have time off like this?
You've got friends, and by the way, we don't name drop people that haven't
Been on the
given
show.
us permission.
Yeah.
So I will. You were telling me about your friend the other day that up in I don't remember where she is. Well, I can't say her name. Starts starts with an M.
There's no doubt that you've met a lot of people on trails and stuff.
That's
that would,
true.
That would
Well,
be
yeah.
down to
Oh,
do this.
so I did actually one time I was on the Pacific Crest Trail, and I asked my hiking partner to interview with me, and they really liked us for a couple, like a 2-person challenge show, but they were like, we just don't like the fact that you guys haven't known each other that long. They wanted like some people with some real roots.
Oh, they want like backstories
Yeah.
and stuff. Okay.
So that's why we didn't get picked. But I mean, it's fine if I don't get picked. I'll just have my soul crushed. But what I was going to say is at this casino, they gave us $5 as like a, thanks for being here kind of thing. And then I took to the slots with all of my new friends that I met in line because we spent hours together.
Okay.
And we all played the slots at the same time, and I won $25. My gas money
Whoa.
to get there.
Wow.
All right, and are you
Worth
done?
it.
You done with casinos the rest of your life? I mean, that's a good ROI.
I mean, honestly, that's
you
all
went
I was
from
really
free
looking.
to $25.
I know.
That's like a infinite amount of return.
I was like kind of impressed by it.
But now
Okay,
you're hooked.
I'm not hooked. I've
So-
been in a lot of casinos.
So here on CuzWords, we also like backstories.
Okay.
So I'm curious if you've got any stories from when the 3 of us were together when we were younger that maybe Michael and I have forgotten about. I do know that, boys being boys, we were probably a little rougher back in the day, but do you have any like good memories?
Do
Hopefully.
you have any good memories? I mean, the one that always comes to mind, and that we've talked about this one a million times, is so clearly the two of you guys love your gaming systems and just like love to do stuff. And I inherently wanted to be outside and playing. Like I just wanted someone to play with me. And you guys were always like, me, 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 me. So unless I was also playing video games, then I was, going to be by myself. So one day I just got fed up with you guys playing on your games, and Madison was sitting in a chair, and I was trying to like jokingly like lean him back so that he would be like, oh my gosh, and like pay attention to me. But instead I full on brought him back, and I didn't have enough strength to put it back. So the chair just fell on my foot, and I broke my toe. And then you know what? I'm sitting in a bathtub with ice on my foot, and there's still me.
That didn't deter us.
Just in the other room, and I'm just like, that was the biggest backfire of myself I've ever done. Like I can literally envision that you had 2 little
Yeah, we were
kittens
over
that
at
time.
we
They
were
were
over at
just-
Michael's parents' house, and this was like not only was this just something that she did, but this was like at like midnight, probably one summer night, because I also
Yeah.
remember that same night, if I'm not mistaken, your parents had a door inside the house that would also set off the alarm if it was opened, and we had went out there, we woke your parents up
Yeah.
because the alarm had gone off. Yeah. Do you guys remember being younger and going over for family reunions to the gristmill, and then going over to the bridge over there?
Yeah,
Was the gristmill,
I definitely
right?
do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
had one family member who would hang out with me and play outside with me while you two just sat around doing other stuff.
Okay, so for family reunions, we had to do stuff outside. We didn't really have a choice.
Yeah, there was not much to do. Yeah, I remember us going around pretending to play Pokemon, using our.
And of course, if there was ever like a basketball goal or something, you'd definitely find me there.
Yeah, you were always trying to do that. I was always swinging. I was like, oh, throw me in the swings.
I remember, you can cut this if you want to, but I also remember one time, probably when we were like 13 or 14, Michael looking at a family member, he goes, I wonder how closely related I am to her.
I was not there.
I don't remember that.
Deny.
I think that's a selective memory.
Maybe Madison was thinking that, and he was just like,
Oh, no.
Michael is also thinking
They
this.
projected it.
That was a big projection right there.
Which, I mean, it is Alabama after all. Yeah,
Oh my
look,
gosh.
you want to get embarrassing. So when we were really, really young, like I don't know what age, probably like 5, 6. I've heard the story more than I recollect the story.
Yeah, and honestly, I felt like it was more of one of those things where our parents were like prompting us because they thought it was funny. To be honest.
Yeah, they may have led into it, but they told us the story multiple times about how
like when we were both
we
like
would argue
five or like lower, like 3 or 4 or something. Yeah,
we would argue about who was going to get to marry you when we were
Oh,
older.
yeah. That was such, like, you guys had pea brains. You didn't know what was going on in the world, and they thought it was so funny.
they thought it was cute, is what
And
they
also,
thought.
like,
Yeah,
we didn't even know what marriage was at that point.
No.
Like, they probably just meant, like, oh, like, this is going to be my best friend.
I think
No, it's
somebody.
going to be my best friend. And I was like, oh, you guys want to be best friends with me?
Yeah,
Adorable.
It's I mean, I know our parents didn't mean anything weird by it, but it is still kind of weird when you
it's
think
not.
about it.
Yeah, and they always just be like, oh, when Madison and Michael were younger, they used to argue over who was going to marry Jennifer. It's like, can we please clarify what younger means?
Yeah.
Because
The younger could be
Yeah,
a week
I'm
ago.
like,
we're
can you
toddlers
stop?
doing this. That's different. There's a big difference in a toddler and somebody with a rational, sound mind.
Of course, I have family members that love to tell the story about the fact that my parents both have the same last name. So
That is me.
Yeah.
I'm that family member.
Yeah. I also think about that from time to time, and I'm like, I'm just going to leave that one the way that it should be, just not discussed.
Yeah. It's weird. It's different growing up in the South. You got basically a lot of folks, especially the boomer generation, they are very, very like innocent, Christian minded, and even some things kind of go over their head in this ability to just ignore what's going on in the rest of the world and living in their own little bubble. So when they'll make jokes sometimes that they think is kind of innocent sounding. One thing that comes to mind is your mother's choice of license plate. She had something that was, if you're a part of the world, or if you're like,
she's had a lot of
open to the
license
world.
plates, so I'm having trouble remembering which one
Yeah,
it might
thinking
be.
like music.
No,
Yes,
so-
music.
so yeah, there was a lot of references to music, but one in particular had to do with a large cat.
Tiger Mom?
Yes, that's correct, and that is similar to what a lot of people would say is a cougar, but a little bit more specific.
That's a little bit of a stretch, right?
It's a little bit of a stretch, but that's only the first one that comes to mind, right?
Like, where did that one come from? I feel like of all the things, I don't know.
I know.
I used to get flack for my old license plate, which I don't have anymore.
What was it?
It was MRGAU, but everybody would say it looked like Mr. Gay.
Mr.
AU.
Gao.
Yeah, instead of a Y instead of a U.
Oh,
Oh,
interesting.
that is kind of funny.
I'm trying to think about any other license plates I've seen that are
No,
actually
I mean,
funny.
my current one is a reference to a video game. We're not going to say my current license plate on air, but
It's a good call.
Oh, why not? We can just do that. Social Security,
I mean,
yes,
physical addresses.
This point, just
blood type
for the plot.
Just give it out. Yeah.
I don't even know my blood type.
I'm curious, Jennifer, because you appreciate nature so much. One of the topics that we have been talking about, especially as of recently, is
Oh, don't say DC.
the data centers.
Yeah.
Oh, I knew he was
Yeah.
going to say
Yeah.
that.
How long until you think the government starts selling off natural forests to allow data center buildings?
Build them in national parks.
Michael, Jennifer, you may not have seen The Matrix, but Michael, I know you have.
Yeah.
It's been a while, but do
seen
you
The
not feel
Matrix.
like the world that's being created right now is very reminiscent of when people wake up and are out of the Matrix? Like the world of all the pods where all the people are in,
Yeah.
and it's just a bunch of machines and things flying around.
I mean, we got a ways to go, but I feel
definitely
like
on
there's
its
definitely
way.
people calling shots that would like it to be similar to that.
Yeah. I've got this idea in my mind that all this data center and all this computing power is, and this is a little tinfoil. It's not even tinfoil hat. It's just honestly capitalism. But I think they're building all of these to prep for the robots. These will be the brain centers for the robots that are going to be taking over the jobs of the lower class. Jennifer, do you have any thoughts?
Oh, like, do I get to talk now?
Well, first, what are your thoughts on the environmental impact?
Yeah.
I would say that there's not a lot of protection in the South or even in the East for large plots of land like there is in the West, because it's not under any type of protection policy like national parks or, national forests and stuff like that. And because of that, also the fact that there's a lot of poverty-stricken places that they're coming in from, and places that people with a lot of money don't really live that close by, so they can't overpower them, are coming in to just, take this part of land and making it into whatever the heck they want to, because they do have a lot of money and they can do whatever they want to. But I mean, I don't see myself being in the South long term. So it is kind of sad in that way that that's happening here, but I am happy that it's not happening out west, where, I mean, there's a lot more environmental factors going on out there.
Right.
Recreation.
And basically a lot of red tape with like building and zoning laws and all that stuff. I agree. Blue states tend to have more zoning laws and protections in place.
Yeah.
Because they care more.
They definitely care more about the environment, possibly, unless you ask a farmer from the South. He might care a little bit about his environment.
I mean, sure, but the reason that there are people who care about the environment that live here is for agricultural purposes. Like, it's not necessarily for recreational purposes in the same way.
I would say blue states care more about the preservation of land, and then the red states care more about the viability of the land for
farming and
and commercial usage and stuff like that.
Okay. I think it's kind of interesting how it also seems somewhat reminiscent of like the industrial age, right? We used to have a bunch of factories that would just start popping up everywhere. Now, back then, people loved that because it was creating jobs. But it seems like, even around here where they're talking about putting a data center, it is also where a bunch of factories just don't exist anymore. It's like right in that same area. And I think they're talking about putting them up in like Detroit again. It's like it's almost like we're repeating the early 20s.
But the difference is the data center doesn't create a ton of new jobs.
No,
it may
that's
create a
very
few
true.
jobs to help maintain and run the data center, but it also eliminates other jobs in other sectors.
Right. I mean, while they're building it, there will be a lot of construction work going into play. I actually happened to get caught. So I had to drive out to Mississippi for work last week, and I got stuck behind a huge, like, data center piece coming up this way. It was taking up both lanes of the main road, and it had 6 police escorts, and they decided they wanted to drive like 4 miles an hour. like it was so slow at 11:45 at night, And I'm talking it was all the way from Birmingham up till they pulled over around another city.
Did you say it was the interstate?
No, highway.
Highway, okay.
Yes, and major road.
Yeah.
It was a highway. I was getting so mad about it because I'm pretty sure that piece was also the one that was designated to come to like right near where I'm currently staying and possibly thinking about relocating because of that data center that's coming in. I really like where I'm at currently, but this piece was it was massive. I mean, it was just a big metal box. And I'm trying to think, like, they're not going to have workers in there.
Yeah, it's servers.
Yeah, it's just going to be servers.
Server row after server row.
Utilizing the water, probably from the Coosa River. And it's just, I don't know. I'm hoping that at least maybe there's some good that comes out of this. Maybe better technology. Hopefully it's not just completely brains for
AI
robots.
slop. That's what it'll be used.
Yep, that's right.
Used for. The serious question. So where we're at, we've got a river. I think you just mentioned the name of the river.
Right.
We've got a potential data center coming in that could be taking up this water, but it also currently has a pulp mill that utilizes it and dumps into it. That pulp mill is discontinuing for a while now, and eventually in probably 12 to 18 months' time, that water could be restored to a much more clean level than it has been in the last 40, 50 years.
Yeah.
So I wonder what is worse on the water, a pulp mill or a data center?
I would assume the pulp mill.
So the data center actually, even if it's taking water,
I think it's going to be rough while they're first building it. I think there's going to be a lot of runoff for building supplies and other things. But over the long run, I imagine it'll probably be better because it's just being used to cool.
So around here, we could be getting a better environmental trade-off.
No.
Why?
Maybe
in the water aspect.
Maybe the fish will appreciate it more.
Well, I mean, that's important though. So
yeah, but there's so many other here's the thing. Here's the big thing is people down here just haven't really cared about natural resources and habitat of animals and things like that live here. They aren't in that protection area. So I kind of don't understand why people here are giving a heck that much, because if anywhere in the whole U.S., this is the one place where I'm not expecting an uprise.
I think it's because it affects it does affect agriculture.
The biggest uprise here is about the electrical cost.
Well, right now there are some protections in place that state that the electrical cost is not going to be passed on to.
Which is that case, a lot of people's issues would be dissuaded.
So I fully believe it has to do with the infrasonic and ultrasonic noises that will affect wildlife, and not only wildlife, but I mean there's some farmers out there that are claiming that their cattle are not able to have babies anymore because they're so close to a data center.
Here's the thing, though, is people in the South, generically speaking, aren't they just not that they're not caring people, because I don't want to say that, but they're like, oh, that's not my problem kind of people. Like I
disagree. I think that's the boomer generation.
Okay.
I find a lot of people, millennial or younger, they have a different mindset on that.
Well, that's good, but I still think that it's not as in tune here, and that's why they're going to be able to get away with it.
I think it's the money. I think that's why they're going to be able to get away with it. When they're offering poverty-stricken areas millions and millions of dollars to say, hey, we just want to take up a couple of acre or 20, 30 acres of land, and we're going to give you millions of dollars, which is going to be like 100 times their average tax revenue.
Where are they going to do with that money?
It's a great question. Probably going back into Well,
Okay.
I don't want to get like super. I would say that a lot of these poverty-stricken areas, there might be not the most. How do I put this? There might be a little bit of local government corruption,
Well,
and
maybe we
then
can
probably
find
the
out.
pockets of some of the politicians.
Yeah, maybe we find out what's actually happening with the money that's being paid off to use that land, and then we can circle back to this convo.
Well, it could also go in towards, and I do think it'll probably go towards, like newer equipment for law enforcement, newer equipment for fire departments, those kind of things.
Yeah,
I do think a good chunk of that will go back towards helping out the city. But I also know that some of these places with not too many residents, like their tax, like what they get in like local government taxes is just not enough to sustain sometimes. And so a lot of that could also be put on reserve.
I mean, many local municipalities that have declining citizenship, they have to go to the bond market almost every single year in order to make ends meet as a city. So I don't know about here what that status is or not, but I'm sure their goal, if they bring in a data center, is to relieve some of that stress.
Well, and you can also look at, they want amenities for the residents, and a lot of times what they're doing in order to make that happen is they're giving tax breaks to some of these larger companies. Like, you look at, there was talks of, I know one city in particular that's near here. They got the Tractor Supply came in. I believe that they gave them some extreme tax breaks for their first like 10 years of being here, just so that they could get a big name like that to come in.
Yeah.
And that just kind of hurts their bottom line. It's like, yes, there's more money being spent, but it's also going to be taking away from the alternatives to those that aren't receiving those tax breaks. But it's all in, I guess they do some sort of cost analysis to determine whether or not it's going to be more beneficial in the long run. But oftentimes it's tough for small towns to be able to function, especially with the increase in rising costs of construction. I mean, shoot, there was a road that they finally fixed that I think had been probably 20 years since they'd repaved over it. It's tough. It's tough to balance a local government budget.
Man, if I'd known I was coming on a freaking data center podcast, I'd probably found something better to do with my time.
No. We talk about a multitude of topics, and
Sure,
we can change it up slightly. I'm curious, since you've been everywhere. I don't know if there are places that you haven't been.
There are.
Where was your favorite place to go and explore, and where was your least favorite place?
Oh, those are great questions. I haven't been everywhere. So just gonna say that. But compared to the average Alabamian, I would say that I've been
I'll
in the
go
top
so
percent.
far and say American.
Okay.
Yeah.
The average
Oh yeah.
American, at least Southern American. I'm probably in the top like 2%.
And you don't think that would apply to the average just American in general?
No, I think that there's several Americans,
Do you think
there are
like
thousands of Americans. Well, out west, people do travel way more.
Do you, and this is just a question, but is it possible that your opinion on the average American might be somewhat skewed on how much they travel because those are the people that you
I
spend
hang out
time with?
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, because
That's pretty fair.
I know a lot of people that are like, I can't like afford to go to Walmart because it's too far away.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And some people just, are more homebodies. I like to travel occasionally, but I also like to be at home
Yeah,
too.
no, that's fair. To answer your question, I would say my favorite place I've ever traveled is a toss-up between New Zealand and Argentina.
I hear New Zealand is very pretty.
Lord of the Rings.
So you tend to go to more like nature-rich places, right?
Yes.
So it's not like, I mean,
You're not going to. I mean, you do go to the bigger cities every once in a while.
Yeah, I do.
But
Like, I mean, my goal when I travel is to prioritize being active. So I will dip into cities, but go for like what draws them in the active world. So typically like hiking, I've done some like boat trips, like some sailing trips. I've done, I wouldn't necessarily call that necessarily active too hard, but it's just like more engulfing in their nature.
Okay.
Ways, but.
And of all the things you've done, I know you've done bungee jumping.
Well, I really technically haven't done bungee jumping because that's like strapping cords to your ankles. And because I broke my back, I don't want to do that. So I have been on a canyon swing, which is very similar.
Okay.
But it's a harness by your waist.
Provides more back support, I guess.
Yeah, well, it's not as like shocking to your spine, where this one is like, it's a full, But I have been like free fall or, a couple times.
You did some skydiving? No?
I have skydived.
Yeah, I thought you had.
I did that when I still
Is there any kind of adrenaline thing that you won't do?
Well, I'm technically, Dad said that he would disown me if I ever jumped out base jumping in a squirrel suit.
That takes a lot of training, if I'm not mistaken.
He literally was like, you cannot do that.
That is one of the more dangerous of the.
Yeah, and I have no interest in it, honestly. Like, I'm pretty calculated as a person, so I don't just do things on a whim and just hope for the best. I truly do plan things pretty methodically. So that could be a good oversight to how most people do this type of lifestyle.
So you wouldn't have done it even if he hadn't given you that
no
disclaimer? You still weren't interested?
Never been a...
Michael and I had a conversation about this in a different episode. He asked me like if I would ever do like skydiving or something, and I said, I mean, I guess if it wasn't, like I'm not going to go out of my way to do it, but I'll, if it wasn't going to cost me anything, it's like that's something to do.
Yeah.
But I guess I just don't have like the desire to like
seek it out.
Yeah.
Do you want me to like tell you what it's like? Because I can paint you a little vivid picture.
Oh, I imagine it feels like you're falling.
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. Like that sounds crazy, but when you're driving on a road and you like go over a big bump and you're like, whoa, it just took away my stomach. It doesn't give you that feeling. It literally is like you're laying on top of looking at a painting, and all of a sudden the painting just gets closer and closer and closer to your face, and then you realize that it's the earth.
Okay.
I don't know how to explain that.
So
what about like the G-forces and stuff?
The G-force, I mean, like, sure, you can feel like the wind whipping your face. Like most people will kind of like a pig whenever they
their gums are flapping.
I have done the wind tunnel thing before. It was not a very flattering picture.
But it's quite different. Yeah, it's not cute. I look like an idiot. My pictures. You can still search it up though. If any of the listeners are intrigued in watching me skydive, if you type in on YouTube, back when YouTube was like not really used, so it's still there. You can type Jennifer jumps from a perfectly good airplane, and you'll find my skydiving video of when I turned.
Back when YouTube was not really used.
Well, it was used, but like it wasn't used as like a mainstream social media platform.
Do you remember when you uploaded it?
Yeah,
I didn't upload it.
Okay, what year are we talking about?
2012.
2012 is when you did that?
Yeah.
I would say YouTube was definitely not what it is now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like
but it was definitely more traffic than like, and I think of YouTube as a barren wasteland. I think of like 2005.
Okay,
yeah.
Like when Choose and stuff came out.
Yeah, because I was watching podcasts on YouTube in 2012.
I don't know if that's true.
I do think it was still a little bit more niche, but I'm thinking back to like early red versus blue days.
Oh,
which
yeah.
might not mean much.
I remember when you were obsessed with that stuff.
Oh, Halo? Yeah.
Never stopped.
Yeah, no.
I think he stopped. I think we were forced to stop.
We're actually avoiding a topic of conversation that we might have to save. Michael can't do next weekend, so we're going for Wednesday, I think, on our next recording one. That we're probably going to have to save for Wednesday because of an upcoming something.
Thank goodness that I am not involved in this because.
Well, I know it was a little. We wanted to make sure you got on.
I mean, I listened to the podcast, and when you guys started going off on your little tangents about.
That's every episode.
Yeah, I just fast forward. Are they talking about anything important?
You just have to double tap And it goes 10 seconds.
Yeah, I know. I also put you guys on like 2 times speed sometimes when you're just like talking about basketball stuff.
Yeah.
Like
the
so
episode
relevant.
where he made his bracket.
Yeah, I did listen to that.
Well, so what I do when Michael's talking about basketball stuff is I put my brain on 0.5 speed. So it's like
Slows it down.
No, no, my brain is only able to, so it makes it like Michael's talking in 2 times speed.
Oh.
So we can get to
Too much
something
math.
I
Too much math.
contribute to.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, what is this? Well, the only time that you guys ever mentioned me on the podcast was talking about how I had a parasite. So I'd like to double
you
down
gotta-
on that.
Before we jump into that, can I say that I want to tell Michael the thing that happened the other day.
Okay.
All right, so I get
Make the listeners
all right.
wait.
So we
Make
have
Dad wait.
well, yeah,
Our
we
only
have
listener.
a relative named, and I'm gonna say I'm gonna say the name, but I'm not gonna say the affiliation. We do have a relative named
Oh.
Pete. Correct?
Yes.
Okay.
No, but we have a nickname for.
Yeah, but that's not.
But
the
we're
point.
not. But we're not. I have to say the name in order for the story to make sense.
Okay.
So I get a message in the middle of my day, middle of my work day, on a Zoom call. Okay. A text message from my sister here, who's trying to hide behind her hands. Pete is dead. All caps. I think there were some exclamation points.
Yeah.
And I'm
there
like,
were.
I got to get out of this. I'm sorry, guys. I have to get out of this meeting. This just seems like it's something that's going to be really like important. I get off. I immediately call her. I immediately call my sister. My sister does not pick up the phone. I'm like, oh crap. She's like on, like, this is a serious thing. It's crazy. I mean, I thought it was kind of weird that I heard it from Jennifer, but I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I immediately turn around and I call Dad. Okay. And I called Dad and I'm like, what's going on? Like, what's going on with Pete? And he goes, oh, that's what Jennifer named her Parasite. And I'm like, I'm over here having a heart attack. Jennifer's talking about this freaking thing that's been growing in her for so long. I'm like, oh, okay.
I was just trying to give you an update, but I thought everybody knew that I called him Pete the Parasite.
Nobody had ever told me that this was the name of the parasite.
Pete and Co. All of his little ugly bacteria friends. Like, that's just. We had to name them because my friends were like, oh, like.
Who named him Pete?
One of these people I hang out with, one of my friends.
Oh, it wasn't you?
No.
Okay.
Because I was like telling people, I was like, yeah, Parasite. And then like it kind of got weird. Like sometimes we would talk about it like in public and stuff. And so we would just like, yeah, we're just going to name him Pete, whatever. And people are like, yeah, I can't wait till Pete dies and you can like eat real food again and stuff like that. And we're like, yeah, party R.I.P. Pete. Like it was just like a thing. And I didn't even know we had a relative named Pete. I was like, oh, surely I've told the boys that, his name's Pete.
And extended, he's a bit of an extended relative. So, but
I was like, chill. Like, who celebrates? I was like, Pete is dead. Like,
but no,
exclamation mark,
it was
like,
If you're texting, emojis have to accompany.
yeah, I should have like celebratory, party.
You just say Pete is dead.
all caps.
Okay,
that
that's
can come
fair.
across as like, oh my god, did you hear?
Okay, that's fair because I literally sent it to my friend Michelle, whose boyfriend's name is Pete.
We didn't learn our lesson, I guess.
But like, I didn't think about it.
What
Like,
did
I
she
just-
say?
She was like, what?
She said, yes,
She
thank goodness,
literally
finally.
was like-
Oh, wait, you're talking about your parasite.
She was like, what? And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Like, I meant to tell you that it's the parasite's name is Pete. She's like, oh, I didn't realize that, like, you named him Pete. And I was like, well, this sounds horrible because your boyfriend's name is Pete. But she lives with him, so I was like, oh, surely she knows that, like, why would she think that me, who doesn't live anywhere near her, knows that her boyfriend is dead? Like, okay, anyway.
Right. So
Got myself in a pickle there.
Yeah,
So
what do you know that she doesn't know?
So now that we got through that was definitely one of the things I wanted to bring up today. But go ahead and tell us what's the
What's
The
up with Pete?
update.
I want to know what it was like with and now without.
Okay.
Pete.
All right, so with and without Pete, the Sigma. segment, whatever.
What kind of
Parasite?
yeah?
It
What is a
wasn't a
parasite?
tapeworm.
Is
Madison
it
was
is a parasite
like-
an insect?
No. What?
What is a parasite? Like in a the genus species science? What is a parasite?
Isn't parasite? Isn't that just isn't that its
I don't
own
think it has its
classification?
own.
I think it is its own classification because it was classified. The type of parasite that I had was classified as a bacteria for a very long time, and then they realized that it caused harm in the way that a parasite does.
Yeah, because it's not like an infection and it's not like a virus.
Right.
I think it's its own classification.
Right.
And there's a subclass of it, which I'm sure Jennifer's about to get into.
Well, basically, what needs to be known is that 12 years ago, when I was in high school, I mean, not high school, college, I also just realized this, like, when I was telling the story not too long ago. So, side tangent really quickly. Did you know that Kilimanjaro was the first mountain that I ever summited? Is that kind of like a little
Wait,
bass
hold on, wait.
Yeah.
Wait,
Okay.
Kilimanjaro. Where's Kilimanjaro?
In Africa?
That's east of us. That's a hill.
Yeah.
It's
You said
around the
only thing
world.
You said
east.
everything east is a hill.
No. In the U.S.
Oh, okay.
It's
Okay.
different.
Okay.
Anyway.
All right. Well, I'm glad we clarified.
Well, I'm saying all that
Kilimanjaro.
because I randomly decided, like, in college, I was, like, dealing with a lot of recovery from my back injury and, like, learning how to exercise right and, like, all that kind of stuff. So I was like, I'm going to climb Kilimanjaro. So I go to Africa, find a way to do it.
Yep, that's the best way to relax your back is climbing a mountain.
Well, all that to say...
Well,
It
we all
was-
did weird things in college. It's all good.
It was more just like I wanted to challenge myself with a goal. It's like
Yeah,
people
yeah.
run a marathon, like they want the training and whatever. Anyway, so I found a way to go there, but by way of, can I help you?
You're good.
Working on water purification systems, and ironically, I got very sick with Giardia when I was there. We were like showering.
Have you been able to isolate it to that specific event?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll tell you why. Because when I was there, I was literally like, as one does when they're sick, I was puking my brains out, couldn't leave the toilet for like 3 days. Like, I was on this island of Zanzibar. And then being on an island, there was no medical care really. Like,
Yeah. No, I'm familiar with Zanzibar.
Okay.
That's where.
Like, yeah, you're familiar with Zanzibar?
No, I am.
Yeah, he is familiar. Yeah, I am too, actually.
Yeah, I know
We
we're
both
all.
are.
I know
Oh,
we're-
it's on a computer map. It's on a game map, isn't it?
There is a map of it, yes.
Unreal.
I-
Okay.
I- listen.
I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that. I'm talking about real life people off the computer.
2 sniper rifles.
Anyway.
1 rocket.
So
Sword.
Get the ghost.
I get to feeling better. We go into Tanzania. I'm like, am I going to be able to climb Kilimanjaro? I'm like feeling better. I'm eating again. Things are staying. So I do. Climb Kilimanjaro. It was great. Come back. I'm like, oh, it's just like a normal little virus. Like I just got sick for a couple of days. But, it was very clear that that was not a typical virus. And I never got treated for it after the fact. The next several years of my life
We can.
were-
Let's try not to keep it. Let's not get too graphic with it. But
I'm not gonna
Okay.
get too graphic with it, but
Okay.
I was in college and I started traveling. I started hiking the AT. I did a lot of things that changed my environment. With that being said, the way that my lifestyle was in general changed a lot. Gained weight, lost weight. Hiked a lot, gained it right back. Like ate a lot of sugar when I was on trails. Learned how to be healthy. Became a personal trainer. Like I was doing a lot to my body for the last 10 years, right? So it was hard to know what was really causing some things. But what happened is in 2020, so 6 years ago now, about halfway point of when all of this is since Africa to now, was I got really, really depressed and truly my brain definitely chemically changed, and I couldn't really understand why because I'd never had that kind of feeling happen before.
so what does it feel like if you could try to describe it? What is a chemical like? You feel like your brain chemically changed, in what way?
Okay, the best way I can describe it is I would wake up every day and I would just be like, ugh. when I woke up. Like, ugh. And now when I wake up, I'm like, I don't know how to otherwise explain it, but if you've been depressed, you get it. If you haven't been depressed, you kind of don't get it. So when all of that was happening, I felt like I had no control over how my brain was processing things. I was just always in the trenches, just felt like that I had no control. It was pointless. Life was, seemingly meaningless, et cetera, et cetera. Eventually was able to like kind of work my way out of it, but I had this overarching kind of brain fog, and I've had it forever since then. Like it's been continuous since.
I also recall you were trying like all sorts of different diets. You go like, I'm going,
well, so I did start going gluten-free.
Paleo or...
Well, I read this book called This Is Your Brain on Food, which is when I learned that your gut-brain axis is huge, which is the food that you eat can chemically change the way that your brain's neuropathways connect and can make you, feel lighter, not as sluggish. I mean, it's pretty obvious that you eat a whole pizza like you guys do on a regular basis. You're going to feel like, oh, I ate a whole pizza, and you're going to have grease pouring out your pores.
and it makes my neural pathway feel so good.
You feel so good for about 30
seconds.
minutes after you've eaten it, and then you do not feel good
Yeah.
And
anymore.
it makes the neural pathways in my toes go numb.
So what I'm trying to say is, so I got really healthy, and I cut out gluten because I realized that every time I'd eat gluten that it was almost connected in the way that the more gluten I had, the worse I felt, the more brain fog I had, the more like depressive symptoms I would have. So I was like, okay, well, clearly this is kind of triggered. So I just have been gluten-free for the last 5 years and decided, well, I had a couple of random medical things happen. Like I had a headache that lasted for 30 days. And by the time I like saw a doctor, they thought I had spiral meningitis because I couldn't move my head to my neck. And literally Dad flew into Arizona and was like, Jen might die. Like, this is crazy. So there was a couple of really weird things like that have been like kind of trickled in the last decade of my life.
Okay.
But finally I was like, okay, I want to go see a specialist and see like, am I actually gluten intolerant? Like, is that why I feel so bad whenever I eat gluten, or like what's the cause? What's the systematic thing? So I found this practice in Colorado, and they worked virtually with me, and they ran tons and tons of tests, like a Dutch test, a stool test, blood test. I took a neuro test, like all this stuff, and didn't cost cheap. Insurance doesn't cover functional medicine stuff, but that's kind of the path that I wanted to take with it. Anyway, all that to say, they were like, yeah, you have crazy gut dialysis. Basically, my gut is just messed up.
Did your insurance cover things after the diagnosis was found? Even still,
no.
Wow.
So, yeah, they're like, your gut is, obviously the thing that controls a lot of other stuff. So, I mean, I'm probably going to go into a little TMI, but it's fun, factual information. So, they found the parasite. They also found 4 other opportunistic gut bacteria that have been growing, one of which is 60% fatal if it gets into your bloodstream, which it inevitably does. So they were like, yeah, you got to fix this like now. And all of my hormones for my hormone panel were postmenopausal. Like they have fully shut down like all of my hormones. So they were like, yeah, you literally have to rework your system. So what they offered, or they said, you're 2 kind of options here. One is to go functional medicine and starve the bacteria, the parasite, kill everything, but still be able to keep some of the good gut flora, or do antibiotics. You'll kill everything, which if you've ever had to take regular amounts of antibiotics, which
Right.
is something that is kind of typical in the South, we get antibiotics for basically everything. Your gut can be so messed up from doing that. Like
Sure.
if you have no good gut flora to keep your body processing the way that it should, then your body's essentially just like a dump tank, and it just what goes in goes out and nothing absorbs, etc. So they were like, yeah, you're missing like 7 of the 20 good gut bacteria in your gut to process things, and it's just overcrowded with all of this bad gut flora. So they were like, yeah, we recommend just going on this insane elimination diet.
Which most people would be like,
not do.
No, give me the.
I can't have my little Debbie's.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it was intense. Like for the first 6 weeks, the only carb I could have was sweet potatoes. So I've been gluten-free, dairy-free, sugar-free, caffeine-free, no alcohol, and I couldn't have cruciferous vegetables for a while. Couldn't have most grains.
What could you eat?
Yeah.
What is a cruciferous?
It's like leafy greens. Like I couldn't have broccoli and things that you would think are going to be good for you, but they actually cause more like digestive overload.
Yeah. So
Easier list is what could you eat?
So what I basically ate for the first 6 weeks was ground beef. I learned how to make chicken, but I could only have like olive oil. Couldn't have any butter or anything like that.
It's like they come from eggs, right?
Chicken?
Yeah. So you make chicken.
Well, I couldn't have any eggs, actually. This is crazy.
Had to wait until after the egg hatch.
I couldn't have like a lot of fruits because they were like high glycemic. And yeah, it was a very, very short list of things I could eat. Basically, I would have chicken for breakfast. I would have ground beef, avocado, sweet potatoes for pretty much every meal for a while. Then I couldn't have any ground beef. It went through different phases. But I'm on a vegan week now, which is the very last week before I start being able to reintroduce foods.
Are you excited?
I am excited. I'm mostly excited about not taking so many supplements. I've been taking 3 liquid supplements twice daily. I've been injecting myself with peptides via a shot every weekday. I've been taking 12, at least 12, if not, at some points I was taking 25 pill supplements a day.
That's wild. That's a lot of stuff.
It was so much. And yeah, just like being super methodical about it all.
And when did you start?
I started it. I'm on my 11th week right now.
And she's really into this. I'm not kidding. We went to yesterday, or day before yesterday, went to Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah.
She ordered a plate full of seeds.
Okay, so
they have that on the menu?
I've only been able to eat out. That's the only restaurant I've been able to eat out at all. And I knew it was because I was vegan for a while and I was trying out different diets several years ago when I realized that being gluten-free was the best one for me. And I knew that they had a vegan salad there. I couldn't have the salad dressing, and I couldn't have the tomatoes because I still can't have tomatoes. And I couldn't have farro, which is a type of grain. So I just ordered it without those 3 things, but it was basically beets, lettuce, there was some asparagus, there was some green beans, there's some avocado, there was pumpkin and sunflower seeds, and that was pretty much my dinner.
And no dressing.
No dressing.
And most importantly, no cheesecake.
I
Do
know.
they have gluten-free cheesecake?
Yeah, they do have gluten-free cheesecake.
Oh, man.
But I can't have any of that kind of stuff right now. I mean, I actually feel amazing. It's funny because I haven't lost any weight. I've actually gained a couple pounds, which I know you're like, oh, it's water weight.
I know it's
not
probably
a big deal.
it's water weight with salt probably.
But it is wild because you would think that if you took sugar out of your diet for 3 months that stuff would happen.
Well, could it be because they said you were post menopausal, that you're just having other parts are just become more active and get more blood flow, so you're pumping more blood up?
I mean, I would definitely say that my body is being reworked in a lot of ways.
Has it changed the way you look at when you see a cute baby? Does it make you more gushy?
No.
No.
Okay.
Cute babies are cute though. I mean,
Postmenopausal women can also feel gushy about babies.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same feeling. I still have emotions.
Define that.
Well,
define emotion.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the term.
I feel like when you're depressed, you do have a good flat affect, and you can't have as many emotions. But
yeah,
it is a bit different in that way. Is I've been pretty risen above that.
So here's the real question.
What?
When you get off of it, are you gonna see if gluten affects you the same way?
Well, so that's part of it. So one of the biggest things is I grew an allergy to watermelon. This is crazy. And grew an allergy to watermelon when I was like in my teens, which you're like, that's really confusing because like what is even in watermelon? It's like 90% water. Yeah. Well, like the 10% is apparently what my body was like rejecting. But part of this was adding in high glycemic fruits back. So that's technically the only sugar that I could have.
Okay.
And so I was like doing a ride along with some paramedics and firefighters because I was like, oh, I might want to be a paramedic. And I was like, I'm going to bring watermelon and just see if I'm still allergic. Because if I am, they can like take care of me. And if I'm not.
So what is your allergic reaction? Is it like a histemic reaction that you get?
So like my throat used to like get a little scratchy. I couldn't like, you know?
Oh, okay.
And I was like, it either has gotten worse or it's gotten better. And now I've been eating like full on watermelons.
And
It's
you're
been
good?
amazing. Yeah, it's been totally fine.
Oh.
I
Oh.
told them like after the fact, I was like, just so you guys know, I just ate a watermelon. I didn't know it was
What
gonna
about
happen.
like zebra cakes? Do
Oh,
don't you
you're
miss
talking about
Those are
gluten?
not gluten free.
Okay,
That's what I'm
here's
saying.
the
I'm
thing.
asking her if she's wanting to reintroduce gluten.
I do want to reintroduce gluten, but I also like, I think that because I've been able to like live in a way where I know that food really affects my brain, I don't have like the same desires to eat like Little Debbie cakes. Like, don't get me wrong. I grew up on those Christmas trees and those cosmic brownies. Like those things were amazing.
I'm going to go ahead and since you've been out of the game for so long, those things they're not as good as they used to be.
Well,
they have Little Debbie actually got bought out by a larger corporation and they've been putting in weird stuff in there. It's like,
But some of them are good.
it kind of tastes like it, but it doesn't. Know.
Like the peanut butter oatmeal cream pies.
But like, I
Those are
actually
good.
know how
Yeah.
to make healthy and good tasting foods now. So like, I know it's crazy, but people actually use their kitchens in the West.
No, no, no.
The
I know,
no,
I know. You don't want
No,
to
but
believe it.
the proposal.
my wife uses the kitchen. She knows how to use
That's
it.
true.
That's it.
Hey, listen, let's not argue about who because our Southern food, when those grandmas, they can cook.
But they all
And they'll
they
make
all
sure you
cook
eat
these
it, too.
unhealthy stuff. Like all of those casseroles that we had that were like cream of mushroom soup is. If a cream of mushroom has been in a can for 3 years, like there's got to be a thing about it that's like no longer like a mushroom. You know what I mean? It's like just kind of
Was it ever a mushroom in the first place?
exactly. It's just a bunch of mush.
You're missing.
With
But all of that gets countered
MSGs.
by grandma's love.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
That's the secret ingredient that fixes everything.
I mean, heard, and also, Grandma's love done gave me some bad bacteria.
no, that was Kilimanjaro.
I'm just curious because now your gut bacteria is going to be reset. Is it possible that some of those things that used to affect your brain chemistry, it's like because of the correlation effect there, that maybe it wouldn't affect your brain chemistry as much anymore?
Sure, yeah.
I'd just be curious to know after you've had like your first slice of cake.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I miss cinnamon rolls so much. I'm like planning. My friends are actually throwing me a gluten party, and they're gonna make all.
Never heard of that before, but I want to go.
Well, it all started because we have a friend, and she was vegan for like 15 years, like literally since she was like very, very young, like barely able to like make her own decisions for food. She was like decided she was vegan, and she had a meat party last year because she was like, I'm sick of it. I'm ready to eat meat. So they made her like a T-bone steak. She literally wore like a meat dress, like Lady Gaga, like meat dress. I don't know if you guys remember that moment, the Lady Gaga, where she literally wore a dress that looked like meat.
Okay.
And so we all dressed up like farm animals. It was a whole thing, and it's kind of a joke, but we had a meat party, and now I'm gonna have a gluten party.
I thought she was out here like backpacking in the woods and stuff. But she's going to some like what sounds like some really, really nice parties. Like I want to go
you
to a meat
backpack
party.
to the party.
Okay.
Don't
It's
you
like
know that
a-
like half of my job is like bringing the party? We haven't even talked about what I do for work.
Hold on. Is that in
We haven't
Put
talked
that on
about
your
what I
is that
do.
in the job description?
Literally.
It brings the party.
Yeah,
put that on your resume.
vibe curator.
The party bringer.
Vibe curator, okay?
Vibe curator.
So I'm a trip manager, so I bring all these Australians across the U.S. And if
Oh, and Aussies know how to party too.
exactly, if I don't show them like where to go and how to have like a good night, then I'll get bad reviews. I'll get bad tips. I literally tell people all the time, like, I don't even drink unless I'm at work.
Okay.
Cause like,
Not too many jobs where you just
Sounds like a
drink on the
bartender.
job. Yeah.
yeah, literally.
Well, that's really cool.
Now, I'm glad you haven't, in all your outdoor adventures, haven't picked up that tick.
Lyme disease.
Well, yeah, that one
Well,
too.
there's that new one going around.
Alpha gam or whatever.
Yes, makes
alpha
people
gal.
allergic to red meat.
Yeah.
That's wild. How do you live? You don't. I'm gonna go to a clinic in Colorado.
I thought about
and
not
see-
going outside again after I learned about it.
I'm gonna get that.
You have 24 hours to find a tick on you before it can infect you.
I wouldn't though.
Yeah.
No, you would. You ever had a tick on you?
Probably.
Well, like,
Don't know. But I didn't find it.
Well, you just got to do like a nice little brush over and find them. And they live in your pits and your slits.
That sounds like she's said that a couple of times before.
Party bringer.
Yeah, that's right.
Can we end here?
Yeah. Listen, Jennifer, we appreciate you coming on. This has been good. Do you want to go ahead and you want to plug your Instagram or anything before we go?
I mean, yeah, if you guys want to keep up with the chaos.
Yeah.
You can find me at
I'm sure there are people out there.
Jen.Giddens on Instagram.
Is that your handle?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Jen.
You have TikTok?
No, I don't. I do have TikTok. You can find a couple of fun videos on there, but I'm not a dancer. I'm not one of those like dancers. You know what I mean?
It looks like you just did one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the. But that's as good as it's gonna get.
Okay.
It says the party bringer.
I'm still 31. Like I can only party
No, Michael,
so hard.
it's vibe coordinator.
Yeah. Vibe curator.
Curator.
I'm so sorry.
Get my title right.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us. This was episode 34 of CuzWords.
34?
34.
Yeah. Yeah, good stuff. All right.
Is that my
the
cue? That's my
the
cue. Okay.
Wow, what a bunch of hooligans.
We had a plan for this episode. I think. We did not follow it. All right. See y'all next week.